Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, with more than 1,000 new COVID-19 cases announced yesterday in Kern, we're beginning to learn just how many people got sick over the Thanksgiving holiday. And another grim milestone across the nation with a record number of cases and deaths.
The day has come to make miracles happen here in Bakersfield for local families and our littlest patients. We'll tell you how you can help bring world-class children's care right here to Kern County.
And the Bakersfield pastor wowing judges on NBC's The Voice makes it through to the finals. A look at what comes next for Jim Ranger on this Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. Good morning, it's 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen here in studio alongside Alex Fisher. Very exciting night for everyone in Kern County I know is rooting for Jim Ranger.
Absolutely, and coming up this morning on Sunrise, we'll hear from his parents because they are, of course, so much fun to talk to, especially after he wins. So we'll get to that in just a few moments.
All right, but first, let's talk about your forecast. We had some winds up in the mountains again. I know with how dry it is, Kev, we're still concerned about fire danger, right?
Well, the red flag warning has been canceled out. The winds have settled down somewhat up into the Kern County mountains, so we're seeing a little bit of recovery. So we have canceled the red flag warning that was up in the mountains, but still the fire danger, you're right, is a little high, so we just need to use caution out there. Yesterday, we did see some clouds move in. I thought it would stay a little bit more south with that area of low pressure, but it's spinning more clouds our way this morning, and so we are going to keep some clouds around. I want to show you a beautiful picture from our former intern, actually, and an avid fisherman. Noah Ramirez, and he was at Buena Vista Lake capturing this picture, and with some high clouds, a little steam off the lake, just a beautiful shot, so I wanted to share that this morning. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. You can see still some clouds spinning in from the south, and that's going to be the case as we go throughout today. We've got a temperature of 41 degrees under a calm wind at this time, and as we take a look at the hour by hour, a nice comfortable afternoon with the upper 60s expected. 46 in Tehachapi right now, a light wind out of the east-southeast at 8, and as we take a look at the wind profile here, the only breeze that we're seeing is over the grapevine, and we look at temperatures today in the mountains. Things are looking very nice once again with those 60s returning. I'll have more in your forecast. That's coming up in just a little bit. For now, we'll send it back over to you.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. And we begin this hour with some big entertainment news. He has impressed Bakersfield and the world. And last night, Voice contestant and local pastor Jim Ranger got one step closer to the gold.
Team Blake, your finalist is Jim Ranger. Congrats. You are.
That's right. Bakersfield's very own Jim Ranger is moving on to next week's finale on NBC's The Voice. Ranger was among 5 contestants who will compete to win it all next week. Monday night, Ranger performed Without You during the live semifinals. He dedicated that song to his dad, also a Bakersfield pastor. The finale will air right here on NBC next Monday at 8 o'clock, and the winner will be announced 24 hours later on Tuesday. But before that, Ranger's parents will join us live for their reaction right here on Sunrise, coming up in about 1 hour. We're expecting more high-profile cabinet announcements from President-elect Biden this week. Tracy Potts has that, plus his plan to roll out COVID vaccinations, and the latest on Congress trying to prevent a trio of deadlines from devastating millions of Americans during the holidays.
Hi, Alex. Good morning, everyone. Congress still working with that relief bill. There's some back and forth happening, millions of people waiting to see what they'll come up with. And President-elect Biden is filling out his cabinet today with another historic announcement. Today, President-elect Biden will announce the first black nominee for Defense Secretary, retired General Lloyd Austin. NBC confirms 2 others pending, Tom Vilsack returning as Agriculture Secretary, and Congresswoman Marcia Fudge to head Housing and Urban Development. Biden just named his help team, backing a promise to vaccinate 100 million Americans in his first 100 days.
The work ahead will not be easy, but we know what needs to be done.
If authorized, tens of millions of vaccine doses will be available this month Then we'll get it distributed very quickly.
But the White House Coronavirus Task Force warns it'll be late spring before we see a significant drop in cases and deaths. On Capitol Hill, still no agreement on COVID financial relief. The White House pitched deep cuts to unemployment. Democrats rejected that. Senator Bernie Sanders wants to add $300 billion for stimulus checks. And Senate Leader Mitch McConnell suggests dropping everything lawmakers disagree on to pass a smaller bill before Christmas.
We're going to be confronted with another request after the first of the year. We'll live to fight those another day.
Senator McConnell has put the jobs of firefighters, ambulance workers, sanitation officers, police officers in jeopardy.
Today, lawmakers are expected to prevent a government shutdown for one more week. Lawmakers did get something done. Defense spending, money for our troops. The House passed it with numbers large enough to override a threatened presidential veto. The Senate still needs to act, so they're halfway there. I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.
5:05, and now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic here at home. Yesterday, public health officials announced more than 1,000 new cases in Kern County. We also learned another person has died. Most of the cases reported yesterday are from people who tested positive after Thanksgiving. Since the holiday, nearly 3,800 people have been infected. Our new daily average is about 500 a day. That's about 3,500 people per week. Meantime, state data shows more than 200 people are in the hospital with the virus. That's compared to just 22 people a month ago. As of yesterday, 47 people are fighting for their lives in the ICU. Rosedale Union School District, meantime, announced yesterday they're sending students home for distance learning. In the memo sent out to parents and students, the district said the change was made due to a shortage of substitute teachers. The district will discuss a return to in-person learning during a board meeting next week. School officials said they hope to return to in-person learning on January 4th. Testing still an important way to help get the coronavirus under control. Kern Public Health has an all-in-one place where you can find your nearest test site. You can find an interactive map on the Kern Public Health website. It will show you where paid COVID-19 tests are, free tests, including sites that offer a $25 gift card for getting tested. You can also click on each testing site to learn more about appointments, testing dates and times, addresses, and contact info. Just go to kernpublichealth.com and click on the COVID-19 section. Public Health says they have handed out more than 5,200 gift cards so far, and officials say nearly 400 people were tested at yesterday's Oildale location. Back in October, only about 45 people got a test at that same location.
Well, today is all about the kids. Today is the day we throw our weight behind the Children's Miracle Network and the Lawrence Small Children's Center here in Bakersfield to advance the mission of enhancing medical care for kids here in Kern County.
It's our annual Day of Giving fundraiser, something that we've been doing for more than 20 years now as we tap into the giving spirit of the Golden Empire. The ultimate goal is to increase the capacity to care for sick and injured kids right here at home. And today's the day we renew that partnership. 17's Jim Scott and Tammy Milchuk are joining us live in studio today as we move our Give-a-thon here into the 17 newsroom, and they're joining us to tell us how you can be a part of this Day of Giving.
All right, good morning, Alex and Maddie. Thank you very much. You know, like practically every other aspect of our lives, COVID-19 has forced us to make some alterations, if you will, to this year's fundraiser for CMN and the Lawrence Small Children's Center. The most obvious alteration is where we are.
That's right. Due to protocols from Bakersfield Memorial Hospital operating under this pandemic and the restrictions on hospital visitations, we decided to move our day-long fundraiser from the hospital's lobby right here to our studios.
And we are in our primary news studios here, and we've set up our phone bank in our newsroom. Let's take a shot of that. And there are our faithful elves from Sam's Club. They are back with us this year to kick off our Day of Giving, all two of them. We can't have as many people at the phone bank due to social distancing, but we have other operators standing by to take your call off-site. So let's give them a wake-up call right now at 336-0500. That is our pledge line for Children's Miracle Network, or you can text your pledge. Text KGET to 51555 and make a donation that way.
Welcome back. These are tough times, but a local company is hoping to help struggling businesses. Every year, Sullivan Petroleum Company and Sully's Convenience Store gives personalized gifts to 70 or so vendors and customers. But given the circumstances this year, the company instead is going a different route, investing that money back into our community.
We're all in this together, and we can't really help our community thrive and continue to stay successful unless we all kind of turn inwards and help each other out during this stuff. So I think this is kind of the least that we could do during all this time, given the uncertainty.
The company announced it has allocated $14,000 to purchase roughly 70 gift cards to local restaurants, and then those gift cards will then be sent to Sully vendors.
5:20 is your time, and 17 News is your local election headquarters. By the flip of a coin, Maricopa now has a new city council member. Last night, the results of a coin toss decided who will sit on the Maricopa City Council for the next term.
It has been called heads. Let's see what it is. It is heads.
During the election, 3 seats were up for grabs on the Maricopa City Council, but 2 candidates tied for 3rd place. Johnny Lee Horn Jr. and Richard Albright each received 126 votes apiece, so it was decided the winner would be selected with the flip of a coin. At yesterday's Maricopa City Council meeting, Horn Jr. called tails, but it landed on heads. Albright was sworn in moments later.
I would have rather that it was an absolute choice by the citizens. However, apparently God has to intervene supposedly in most of our activities, so that's fair enough for me.
2 other council winners were sworn in last night as well. Meantime, Albright says he looks forward to serving the city. His top priority, bringing businesses to Maricopa. And now to your crime watch. A standoff in Oildale lasted for more than 6 hours yesterday before coming to an end. Here was the scene at Woodlands Meadow Court north of Merle Haggard Drive. The sheriff's office says a man took a hostage around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The hostage was eventually let go, but the suspect stayed inside for hours. Just around 6 o'clock, the suspect came out with his hands in the air and surrendered without incident. That man's name and age have not been released.
A man reported missing after a party in Lake Isabella is dead after crashing in the Kern River Canyon. The man's vehicle was recovered yesterday just off State Route 178. According to CHP, the man is from Bakersfield and was reported missing on Tuesday morning when he did not return home after that party on Sunday. A search team flew over the canyon and spotted his car. His body was found inside, along with his dog. A CHP sergeant at the scene said investigators do not know what caused the crash, but CHP says everyone needs to drive carefully when they're in the canyon.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.